Go. Okay, folks, welcome back to Mr. Iqbal One-to-One Tutor. We are looking at Key Stage 2 Mathematics setC, Paper 1 Arithmetic paper. Okay, so question number 1. We have 132 divided by 12. So Zaki, what is 132 divided by 12?
11.
11. That's just a nice straightforward times table question, that is. So we have here 11 times by 12 is equal to 132. And my pencil's way too fat. Okay, lovely. Okay. So next question. We have 21. Okay. 21 over 50 minus 0.07. What's 21 over 50? So 21 over 50, can we change that into decimal, Zaki?
Yeah.
What do we do to it?
You times by 2 across.
And what does that give us then? As a
42 over 100.
Which is the same as what?
0.042. No,
0.42, because 42 divided by 100, you move the decimal point back by 2 places. So that gives you 0.42 minus 0.07. So what we can do now, we can write it down on the boxes. We can line up the decimal points and we can minus that question. So what's 0.42 minus 0.07, Zaki?
0.35.
No point, man. Now be careful. Now 0.35 is a common answer. There's no such number in the world called 0.35. You must pronounce each digit individually after the decimal point.
0.35.
That's better. Thank you, young man. Okay, give me a second. Okay, lovely. So that gives you 0.35. Okay, and you can also give the answer as a fraction. So in the mark scheme, they've got also 7 over 20. They've also got 35 over 100, or they've got the answer which I've written down. So any of those answers are acceptable as an alternative. Okay, question number 3. Okay, so let's have Zaki carry on with that one for the moment. Question number 3, how would we do this kind of multiple decimal question? So you got one decimal number, second one, and the third decimal number. How do we add all these 3 decimal numbers?
First, you put the numbers to biggest to smallest. Then after that, you put the decimal point as the same as the others.
Okay, so the decimal point idea is a very good idea. You don't need to order them when you add them. That's when you're doing, for example, like median or something, you put them in order. For now, we can literally put it in as we see it. 9, so that'll be like this. So the most important thing is that the decimal point is all lined up. So let's get rid of all this. We don't need this here anymore. We probably need this last one here. Okay, let's go. So how do we start adding this number then? What do we do?
First you do 7 plus 4 is 11. Then you do 11 plus 9 is 20.
Okay, lovely.
Then you carry the 2.
Okay, carry on.
Then you do 9 plus 6 equals 15. Then you do 15 plus 2 is 17. Then you carry the 1. Then that's 2.
So what do we write in this box over here now? What's the fine? What's the fine?
27.
Fantastic. Do I need to write 27.0?
No.
No, because the point note is unnecessary. If you write it down, it's not wrong, but that's just a bit of an amateur night. So we need to show that the teacher, the examiner, that we know our stuff, and we know that 27 is the same as 27.0, and we don't need the point note because it's an unnecessary 0. Lovely. Okay, question number 4. Okay, thank you for that, Zaki. Let's have Aisha. How do I do question number 4?
First you do 52 times 5 is 260.
Okay, now to save a bit of time in the exam, what's 5 times by 4?
20.
Yes, 20. So you got 52 times by 20. That changes the calculation from doing 2 steps in 3 steps. So like 52 times by 5, and then that answer times by 4. Straight away, you just got one question to do now. 52 times by 20. What's the easier way to do 52 times by 20? You times it by?
52 times by 2, and then 52 times by 0.
So 52 times by 2 is?
104.
And then because we're multiplying by 20 in reality, what do we do over here?
Make it 10 times bigger.
Make it 10 times bigger by adding a
0.
There you go. That's
Can
it.
it go up for a minute?
Yeah, go Professor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, done. So then you will copy the answer up over here. Make sure when you do the exam, you go from here to here. You copy up your answer. Don't do the answer in the working out area. Also copy into the answer area there. Okay, lovely. That's the first page done. Okay, so now the next question is 4,763 add 608. So how do we do this question? Aisha?
Oh, 4763. You put it all, and then you do 680. 608. So you put the 6 under the 7, the 0 under the 8, and yeah, and then you add it.
Okay.
8 add 3 is 11.
Okay, then?
6 add 0 is nothing. Add the 1 is 7.
Okay, and then 7 add 6 is?
13. Carry the 1. 4 add 1 is 5. 5, 3, 3.
Lovely. Now we need to write that answer in here. Okay, question number 6, we have 0.2 squared plus 0.5 squared. So Minal, help me with this question, please. What does that mean, 0.2 squared plus 0.5 squared? How do we interpret that?
You have to do 0.2 times 0.2 and then 0.5 times 0.
Right. So 0.2 squared means 0.2 times by?
0.2
Which is equal to what?
is 0.4. No.
0.04.
Yeah.
And similarly, 0.5 times by 0.5 is equal to what?
0.25.
0.25. So you have 0.04 add 0.25. So what do those two numbers, if you line them up and add them up, what should that give us?
0.29.
Did you manage to get that right?
No.
Okay, so now you know how to get it right. Okay, so 0.2 times by 0.2. If you wanted to look at it in a slightly different way, I mean, I've done that. You could think of a 0.2 as what? How many tenths is 0.2?
2 tenths.
And then if you multiply 2 tenths by 2 tenths, what do you get?
4 tenths.
400.
400.
Which is the same as 0.04. So that's another way of achieving the same number. And the same for 0.5 times by 0.5. Okay, we have got our student coming back into the class. Give me a second.
I don't.
Okay, so that was lovely. We got 0.29. Good question. Question number 7. Let's go for question number 7. Carry on, Minal. So 502 minus 0.6. This is like some of the questions that we've been doing recently in the decimal. Now, where's the decimal point for the number 502? In which?
It's after the 2.
Fantastic, lovely. So get rid of all of these. It's after the 2 at the end. So we say it's 502.0, for example.
Yeah.
And then the 0.6 lines up. And then we put our minus, another decimal point all lined up. That's what we learned in our maths lesson. We must line up the decimal points in addition and subtraction and division. Okay, look, now, off you go. Do the question for me, please.
So you can't do 0 subtract 6, so you have to carry from the 2. So it'll be 10 subtract 6, that's 4. Then 1 subtract 0, that's 1. 0 subtract nothing, 0, and then 5.
Okay, so we copy the answer up into the big box. Done.
So 1.
Okay. Question number 8, we got mixture of decimal numbers and whole numbers. So Minal, how would you deal with that situation?
You would just add a point at the end and then add 0.
At the point at the end of the 2, yes?
Yeah, and then add 0, 0.
And then we can add some extra zeros?
Yeah.
And 1 there?
Then
Excellent.
8.
And 1 here, in here to keep the lined up, yes?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You have to put 1 after the 9.
You don't have to put 1 after 9 for addition, but you will have to do it if it was subtraction. You will definitely have to put in. If you don't put in for addition, you won't make too much of a difference. but for subtraction, if you don't put in, it will crash the question. So, carry on, Minal, finish it off for me, please.
So
Yeah.
it's 8, 9, 2, 1.
So 12.98, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just rub this one off a bit because it looks a bit off. There we go. All right, so 12.98, we put the answer in here. Okay, lovely. Okay, right. Question number 9, let's have Mahnoor, please. Question number 9. Thank you for that, Minal. Mahnoor. 7 times by 4 times by 9 times by 5. How would you deal with this question?
So first you would need to do 7 times by 4,
Which is?
28.
And then?
And then you would have to do 28 times by 9, which is
Or you could do 9 times by 5, which is?
9 times by 5, which is 45.
And then what do we have? What kind of question is that?
That's a
Long multiplication question. Now, I'm actually gonna do it the way that you said first. Let's do it that way. So you want to do 28 times by 9, isn't it? Yes?
yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's do it your way. Let's see how that pans out. So 8 times by 9 is?
8 times by 9 is 72.
2 times by 9 is?
2 times by 9 is 18.
18 add 7 is?
18. 24.
Okay, are you sure? You got 18. If we add 2, it gives you 20. Then you add the other 5 to make the 7. So you're close. Not 24, it's 20.
25.
25, because 18 add 7 is 18, add 2, add 5. So that adding the 2 will give you a nice, lovely 20. And adding the remaining 5 will give you a nice, beautiful 25. Now, what do you do next now in the next part of the calculation?
Then you times that by 5.
Which is the leftover part of the question, lovely. So we do 2 steps. So 5 times by 2 is?
10.
5 times by 5 is 25, add 1 is?
26.
And 2 times by 5 is 10, add 2 is?
12.
Okay, so what's the answer altogether? The final answer?
1260.
Beautiful. So I've done exactly the way that you thought about it rather than my way, which I've done in the previous question. And that's perfectly fine in the exam. Perfectly fine. Lovely. Right, next question. Question number 10 can be done quite easily if you just think. I want you to stop and think about this question a minute. Sorry, Mahnoor, and tell me, give me like a better way. This question for me looks, wow, it looks like, this looks a little bit hard. I don't know what it looks like to you. Kind of big, massive number times by 0.2. It looks like it might be complicated. Is there an easy way we can do this question?
You can do column multiplication
Or you could change the 0.2 into what fraction?
into
So what is 0.2 the same as?
0.2 is the same as 2 out of 10.
Yeah, 0.2 is 2/10, isn't it? Because it's in the 10th column. So 0 is in the units column, 2 is in the 10th column, so that's worth 2/10. Okay, so what kind of question do we have now set up?
We have a
Multiplying fractions question set up?
yeah.
Lovely. Now, how would you deal with that then?
So you would have to find the number with the bigger denominator.
Remember we done the technique when you multiply fractions, we try to cancel diagonally or vertically.
Diagonally.
Yeah, so which way, which diagonal we will go for? Which one? That one?
Yeah.
That one doesn't work. We'll try another one. Try that one.
Okay.
We'll cancel that direction. What can you divide by in that direction?
You can divide it by 10s.
Divided by 10. So you knock off the 0 each time, yeah? So now you get left with 3, 2, 4 times by 2. So what's the double of 324?
It's 648.
Did you get that right?
Yes.
Good girl, well done. Excellente. Okay, now remember all these questions that we're doing so far, we've learned them recently in our lessons. We've done all of decimals chapter and all of the fractions chapter. So these things should be very, very familiar to us. And the question that we're about to do next, we've also done that as well. Okay, Mr. Zaki. Yeah, thank you for that, Mahnoor. You can mute yourself now. Mr. Zaki Saab, let's go. Question number 11. How do we do this question?
So you set out the question
So where do we start the question?
with the column, start with 0.4, and then
What do we do to the 0.4?
you put it in the A,
What do you do to the 0.4?
times it by 10,
Why do we times it by 10?
because you can't
Because we want to change into what?
change it into a whole number.
Okay, that's our intention. We start at the number that's been divided by. So we're dividing it by a decimal number. None of us have learned our decimal number times tables. So that's not going to really help us to try to do it in a decimal format. So we're going to do a little conversion, a little changing to make it easy for us. So 0.4 times by 10 gives you what? What's 0.4 times by 10?
4.
Oh, now if you multiply this number by 10, what do we do to this number?
You move it one place to the right.
Okay, so what I want you to say is that if you also multiply that by 10 as well. Yes, so we do the same to both numbers. So whatever we've done here, so what we've done time by 10 here, you have to time by 10 the other number as well. So what's 36.08 time by 10?
Is it 360.8?
Yeah. 360.8. Let's make some more space. Right, so we've rewritten the question and we're now dividing by a whole number. So what goes outside the bus stop? What goes inside the bus stop? Now let's do the question. Come on, hurry up, keep it going. Zaki, we're recording fresh air at the moment. If you're stuck and you can't do it, you need to say, so I'm stuck.
So you put the 4 and outside the column.
Okay, good. You put the 4 outside the column. And then?
Then you put the 360.8 at the top of the column. I mean,
The 360.8
bottom,
inside the bus stop.
inside the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then you divide it.
Okay, go on then. Go for it. Tell me.
So you can't do 4 divided by 3. So that's a 0. Remainder 3.
Okay, don't forget, you're not doing 4 divided by 3. You're saying how many 4s go into 3. A slightly different way of thinking about the question. Will 4 fit into 3? And the answer is 0. Remainder?
3.
Remainder. So the whole number becomes the remainder. How many 4s in 36?
9.
Beautiful. 9. How many 4s go into 0?
0.
How many 4s go into 8?
2.
That's better. Is there something missing from my answer?
Decimal point.
Fantastic. And where does it go? Does it go here, here, here? Where does it go?
Between 0 and 2.
Fantastic. Why does it go there? Tell me why.
Because you need to put it the same as the 0 between the 8. And it's important. There's a decimal point.
Okay. Because we have to line them up. This one has to line up with that one, as we said earlier. That's what we learned in our lessons. We must line up the decimal points. So what's the final answer that goes into the box then? Can you smart on the answer up for me, please?
90.2.
So we write down here 90.2. So you missed the 0 out. Can we miss the 0 out? Are we allowed to? Yes.
Yes.
Because it is an unnecessary
Unnecessary
zero.
number.
Unnecessary 0. We don't need that. You don't need to say 090. Just say 90. So for example, if you are 10 years old, you don't say, sir, I am 10 years old. That would just sound a bit daft. So you would say, sir, I'm 10. And that's what I would expect. Fantastic. Next question, yours, young man. Let's go. Come on. How do I write this question out in a nice, easy way? Show me easy way. Come on. I want you to interpret this for me, please. Come on, quickly.
So you move it 2 places to the right.
Whoa, so why are we moving 2 places to the right?
Because you times them by 2 times.
Because 200 is the same as what? What is 200 the same as?
200 times 2.
There you go. So we split the 200 into 100 times by 2. Is multiplying by 100 easy?
Yeah.
Of course it is. It's easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So what do we do with the decimal point?
You move it to be 2 places to the right. Then you get 200.8.
And then what do you do to it?
Then you move it to the 2. Then you times by 2. Then that is. Then you do 8 times by 2 is 16. Then that's 0. Then put 1. Then 0 times by 2 is 0. And then 2 times 2 is 4.
Okay, what's missing from the answer?
Decimal point.
Where does it go?
Between the 1 and 6.
Now in decimal multiplication, when we multiply decimals, we don't line up the decimal points, we count the decimal places. So I'm going to show you what we've done here. So we had 200.8 times by 2. So as we've done before, we count this 1 decimal place in the question, because there's no decimal places here at all. There isn't any. So we will have 1 decimal place in our answer, as we learned in our previous lessons. So that's good, well done. So what answer goes into here then, Zaki?
401.6.
401.6, fantastic, lovely. Okay, so it looks like you are remembering some of the stuff I'm teaching you. That's good, that's good. Okay, the next question, number 13, I'm just gonna give you the answer for it because it's so you should all find it so easy. Yeah, because you gotta line up those whole numbers, put them into column format, and bam, question's done. Next one, question number 14. We need to line them up properly. So it's 50, 0, 4, 0. Put the 140 in the right place and do the relevant amount of borrowing wherever we need to. And that gives us a nice answer of 49,900. Okay, so I've done those quickly because they're straightforward questions. You don't really need help on those. They're just really easy, inshallah. Hopefully they should be easy. Question number 15. 0.1 times by 0.01. Okay, Zaki, let's finish this question off. How would you do this question? What's the best way to do it?
So you change that into a whole number.
Change the decimals into
To whole fraction.
So what's 0.1 as a fraction?
1/10.
Beautiful, that's good. And what's 0.01 as a fraction?
1/100.
Lovely. Now finish it off for me. Come on. It's a multiplying fraction question. We've done this
Times
before.
across.
Okay, you time like this across the top. That's how you times, because we're not cancelling at the moment. There's nothing to cancel. So what's 1 times by 1?
1.
And 10 times by 100?
1000.
So what's the final answer going to be for that one? So we can't.
0.
So
you change that to decimal, so 0.001.
Yeah, or you can write down 1 over 1,000. It doesn't matter. You can put any of those two answers down. They both are very nice answers to put in. Okay, lovely. Question number 16. 3586 divided by 11. So how do we set this question up? So we have a bus stop. What goes over here?
11.
That's the number that we're dividing by that goes outside. What number goes here?
3,586.
3586. Okay, beautiful. Right, let's have a look now. So how many 11s go into, okay.
0, and then that's the remainder 3. Put the 3 next to the 5.
0. If 11 doesn't go into 3, it goes 0 times and the whole 3 gets left over. How many 11s in 35 now?
3.
Remainder?
Remainder 2.
How many 11s in 28?
2.
Remainder?
7. 6.
Yeah, because 11 times by 2 is 22. 28 take away 22 is 6. How many 11s in 66?
6.
Fantastic. So what answer goes into here?
326.
Okay, do we need to put the 0 in there?
No, you don't have to.
Okay. If you put the 0 in there, that would be amateur night. Yeah, we're not amateurs. We have to show the examiner that we know what we're talking about. Because if you want to say the number 326, all you have to say is 326. You wouldn't need to say 0326. Again, that's unnecessary. Okay, lovely. Thank you for that. Okay, Zaki, I think you do one more question for me because you like percentages so much. You told me that in the beginning of the lesson. So Zaki, smash up number 17 and then you can go to mute. Go.
So you change 170. You divide that by 10.
Okay, so let me try to help the students with the method. So what are you working out first then? So you're breaking the 30% down into, first of all, working out 10%.
10%.
And how do we work out 10%?
You divide it by 10.
So what's that going to give us then?
17.
Beautiful. And then how do we get to the 30 then?
You times by by 3 mean.
Yes, lovely. You have remembered. Excellent. So 10 times by 3 is 30. 17 times by 3. What's 7 times by 3?
52.
You give me the full answer. So that'll give you 21 first, then it's 50. Okay, are you sure it's 52?
No, 51.
Okay, so let's do it step by step. Don't rush it. 7 times by 3 is 21. Then 1 times by 3 is 3. Add the 2 is 5.
5.
But the final answer is
51.
51. Okay, thank you, Zaki. You may be proud today that you remember the method. I thought you were going to falter, you're going to fall over, and you're going to, and I think Zaki is going to make a mistake, but you managed to remember 10% first and times by 3 is 30%. Well done, Zaki. Excellent. Bit of mathematical memorization and practice there. Okay, you can mute up now. Right, let's have Minal, please. Join me.
Okay. So in this question, you just have to do column multiplication.
Okay, before we do column multiplication, what do we do first? So we have to
Just 2 decimal points, so it's going to end in 2 decimal points.
yes, so we got to count the number of decimal places. Remember, we're not counting points, we're counting places. Give me a second, let me put my little mat over here. Okay, now, if you look over here in the question, let me rub this off first of all, and let me choose a nice color that is not nice. 1 and 2. We have 1 and we have 2 decimal places in our question. So how many will we have in the answer?
2 decimal
2 decimal
places.
places in our
Answer.
Okay, good. So let's set the question up. Okie dokie. Good. So we have 8.67. So we're gonna have here 1 and 2 decimal. Okay, go to the question.
So 56, so carry the 5.
Okay, so first of all, you just gave me an answer without doing anything.
7 times 8.
Okay, that's better. 7 times by 8 is 56. Then
8 times 6 is 48, and then that 5 is 53.
very nice. Good. Next.
Then you have to do 8 times 8, that's 64. 64, the 5 is 69, so the answer is 69.36.
Okay, beautiful. And now when you write in the box, what do I write in the box?
69.36.
So you write down all the digits, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, can we miss any out now in this question? No. Why?
Because there's no 0.
There's no unnecessary zeros hanging about at the beginning or hanging about at the end. Everything here is necessary. And so we have to write the number exactly as we have finished with it. Lovely. Good. Okay, question number 19. We've been doing fractions recently. We've done a whole module on fractions. Let's go. Do this question for me. Which is the easiest way to do the question? Go.
So first you need to make the denominators the same. So you need to do, for the 10, you need to times it by 2.
Okay, give me a second. Let me make the pen a bit thinner. So you times that by 2. And what do you, if you times the bottom by 2, what do you do to the top?
You have to do the same with the numerator.
So we have 3 over 20 now, add 7 over 20 now, add 6 over 20. That looks nice and healthy now. So what do we do?
So it's going to equal 16. You need to add the numerators, and the denominator is going to stay the same.
That's fantastic. Why don't we add the denominators? Is there any particular reason?
Because the denominators
Is the current.
is the amount of the thing it's out of.
That's right. Now, it's 3/20ths, add 7/20ths, add 6/20ths. It's like if I give you an analogy, so I'm saying, okay, I've got 3 chairs, and I got 7 chairs, and I got 6 chairs. So the answer will be what?
16
chairs. So if you got 3 over 20, add 7 over 20, add 6 over 20, the answer is not going to be 16 over 60. The answer is going to be 16 over 20 because we're counting in terms of 20. That's our base unit. That's our base. So we're going to have here 16 over
20.
So we're counting it. That's the size of the slice. So you have 320. So that'll give you 16 over 20. Now, can we do anything with the answer? Can the answer be written as it is, or do we need to do something to it?
You can simplify it.
Okay, what does that mean?
You can divide it.
What should we divide it by?
4.
Because 4 is the what?
It's the common factor.
The highest common factor.
Yeah, highest common factor.
So what's 16 divided by 4?
It's 4/5.
Okay. And what do I write in here?
If we don't simplify it, will we still get the answer right?
Okay, now in the mark scheme, that's a good question. In the mark scheme, they have got an unsimplified answer as well. It says accept an equivalent fraction or decimal such as 16 over 20. So 60, if you wrote down the original answer that we have there, or you wrote it down as a decimal, you will still get the mark in this particular mark scheme. So the answer to that question is yes. But because we're mathematicians and we're not doing what's the word called amateur night, and we've been doing fractions for a long time, you've been having our lessons on fractions. What about totally in fractions, Aisha?
Always simplify it when you can.
Always simplify your answer. Give your answer in the most simplified format as a natural default position. So 16 over 20, you shouldn't even be thinking of putting that as the answer. You should look and say, well, is my answer ready to be given as an answer? If it's not, then we don't. Lovely. Okay, I think somebody just fell out of the class. Okay, thank you for that. Right, next question, number 20. I'm just going to give you the answer for that one because that's a nice, hopefully straightforward question. Just adding up those 4-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers. Nothing really to write about there. Now, question number 21. We have 6. So the 7 goes in the front, and the 6405 goes over here. And again, it's a straightforward division calculation. Okay, is Ariana there? Yeah. Okay, Ariana, come in with me on this question, please. Thank you for that, Minal.
So you need to see how many 7's going to 6, which is 0.
And the
So then
remainder?
you put the 6 and make it 64. So it would be 9, and then you put a 1 to make
So 7 times by 9 is 63, remainder 1. Good. Then
it's gonna be 1 and there's 1, 7, and 10, and then 3 left over.
yeah, and then
7 into 35 is 5.
okay, good. 7 into 35 is 5, so that gives you 0915. Excellent. Okay, so we put that answer 915 straight down over here. Lovely. Next question.
So you write out 50.2, and then you need to make sure the decimals are lined up, and then you can put a 0 next to the 2.
If you want to, yeah.
And then you need to put a 0 next to the 2
I have.
in subtraction. And then
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Pardon me. Yes, we have to put it. Yes, because it's subtraction, if you have a gap there, you won't be able to do the question. Absolutely, well done, well spotted. Next, what do you do?
And then you can't do 0.0 take away 4, so you have to cross out the 2 and make it a 1, and then make the next one a 10. So 10 take away 4 is 6. Then you can't do 1 take away 4, so then you can't do it to the 0, so you have to go to the 5 and make that a 4, then make the next one a 10, cross out, make it a 9, and give the next one a 1 to make it 11, which is 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one's 6, and then 4.
Okay. What do we write in the box?
46.76.
Do we miss any digits?
No.
No. Okay, question number 23. Everybody should be an expert on long multiplication by now, but we'll do that question.
No.
Is that Aisha?
Yeah.
Go on then. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Ariana. Okay, go on, Aisha. How do you do this question?
8 times 5 is 40. You put the 0, you carry the 4.
Then?
3 times 5 is 15. Add the 4. 18, 19. Then you put a placeholder.
Okay, so what's the placeholder? Placeholder. So in this space here, you could put, for example, a cross in there. You could
I
put
do
a
that.
star in there. You could put, if you wanted to, a little flower in there. Yeah, anything you like in there. So let's put a 0 in there, or you can put 0 in there, because we're not going to use that space. Then we have to do 8 times by 3 is?
24.
And then?
And then 3 times 3 is 9. Add the 2 is 11. Add them all together. 0 add 0 is 0. 9 add 4 is, you have to 13. 1 add 1 is 2. Add the 1 is 3. 1 add nothing is 1.
So what do we write here?
1330. 1330.
Fantastic. Okay. Okay, so do you want to stay and do number 24 now?
No.
Okay, cheeky girl. She doesn't want to stay for that one. Okay, so let's
Can I do it?
Yeah, is that Minal?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Let's go.
So since it's minus 56, you have to add them together.
Okay, so you got minus 56.4, add 15 points. So this is like our negative numbers now. So we need to work out, in a sense, the question is really 15.3, take away 56.4. So there's different ways of thinking about the question. So how are you thinking about the question for number 24? What are you going to do?
I'm going to I subtracted them both.
Okay, so you're going to subtract them both, and then?
And then the answer is 41.1.
So because you got minus 56.4,
it's going to be minus 41.
Fantastic. So it'll be then minus 41.1. So this is your kind of idea on how you would do the question. So I'll put it there as an idea. So if you want to, basically you're working at the difference of the two numbers, and it'll be negative because you got a big negative number, and add a small positive number will give you a smaller negative number, which you got there, which is 41.1. I like your technique. The technique is good. Okay. Do you feel you can do question number 25?
Yeah.
Go.
You have to divide it by 8 to make it 10%. Then you have to do 10 divided by 490, that's 49. Then you need, because you divided by 8, you need to times it by 8. So 49 times 8.
Sounds beautiful. I like it. Go.
392. So 72.
Okay, so that'll give you 72.
And then that's going to give you
32 add 7.
39.
Okay, beautiful. I like the confidence in you. This is what we're going to be doing at the end of this exam paper session. In our second hour, we'll be looking at percentages. So you've already either you already know how to do it, or you maybe do the example that we just done. But that was done very confidently. I like the style. So you went straight for 10%. From 10%, you went to 80%. You got a nice number bond method. I like it. Very good. Nice and precise, and you know what you're talking about. Okay, the next question is, again, it's a nice straightforward standard takeaway question. I don't think we need to spend more time on it. So we just have to line up the numbers in the right place value.
What was the answer for the top one?
392.
And the bottom one, because it's so easy peasy, I'll give you the answer free of charge there without any calculation, but we all know how to do number 26. We don't need to waste video time on it. Okay, things are starting to get a little bit exciting now. Question number 27. Okay, so I think Minna's got, who's got the microphone open? Okay. Okay, Aisha, question number 27 is yours then, let's go.
How many 21s go into 6?
What is this called, this question?
Long division.
And what do we do for this one? We do, first of all, what do we do? Write down mini
times.
tables. Remember the many times that we've done?
Yeah, 2, 5, and 10.
Yeah, you do remember. 2, 5, and 10. Fantastic, girl. Okay, bombastic. Very good. So 21 times by 2 is?
42.
And 21 times by 10 is?
210.
And half of 210 is?
105.
Okay, lovely, jubbly. So let's go. So how many 21s? So we're going to do long division in short division style. So how many 21s go into 6? And the answer is?
0, remainder 6.
Beautiful. How many 21s go into 65?
3, remainder 2.
Okay, so look over here. So we know 2 lots will give you 42. Let's try another 1 lot, which gives you 21. So 3 lots will give us 60.
3.
So you said 3, so I'm just showing you now the class where you got the 3 from. You got it from using the mini times table.
Remainder 2, though.
So, okay, so the answer will be 3 with a remainder of?
2.
So how many 21s go into 29?
1.
Remainder?
8.
Okay, now slow down a second and now pump your brakes, because I know you're excited and you want to just smash it up. So to get to 84, what do we use from the table?
The 2.
The 42. So 2 lots is 42 and another 2 lots is 42. So how many lots do we have altogether?
84.
How many lots do we have altogether?
Oh, 4.
That's how we look at it, girl. So what do we get?
1, remainder 8. Oh, the whole answer 314.
Okay, I thought you were going to do Lalima then. You give me
So
the...
you're saying the remainder?
No, there is no
Have
remainder.
you finished the question?
Question's done. That's done very nice. Next question is, let's have... Okay, do you want to do the next question, Aisha?
Yeah, this time I will.
Go on then.
So you have to make the denominators the same, but
Oh,
you can't.
No. Remember, you multiply fractions, you don't make the denominator the same. Multiplying fractions is about doing all this stuff. Cancelling, and then after you cancel, then you multiply them out. Not about making the bottoms the same. That's not the
I'm
method.
confused with the other one.
Don't get confused. Look at your notes. So what can we cancel here?
4. No, 1 and 4. 1 and
1 and 4, fantastic. Because the highest common factor of 2 and 8 is 2 and 8 is 2. So what do we do now that we can't cancel anymore?
you do 1 times 5 is 5.
Okay.
3 times 4 is 12.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 5 over 12.
Okay, what type of fraction is 5 over 12? I'll give you 3 choices. Is this called a proper fraction? Is it called an improper fraction? Or is it called a mixed fraction?
Top heavy.
Which
Oh,
one
no, proper.
It is proper. Because the top number is smaller than the bottom number.
A mixed fraction is top heavy.
A mixed fraction is like this.
Oh yeah, but like it's
No, top heavy.
converted version is that.
Top heavy would be like this. That's top heavy. Top heavy, the top number is bigger than the bottom one.
Yeah, the top heavy one is converted into that.
Yes. Okay, number 29, similar to the other question, we're running a little bit short of time. We don't really need to spend much time on this. I'm going to give you the answer for free of charge. There's going to be no need for us to work that out because we know how to do long multiplication now. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy stuff. Let's move on. Ooh, I like the question. Number 30, we got a whole number time by a mixed fraction. Okay, let's have Ariana come back in, please. Thank you for the Aisha. Okay, you can mute up now. Okay, Madam Ariana, let's go.
So you need to convert the mixed number into an improper fraction.
You have to, absolutely, first of all. And how do we do that?
So you times 3 times 6 3 times 2, which is 6, plus the 2, which is 8. So it makes it 8 over 3.
8 over
3.
Okay, 3 times 2. Okay, lovely. And then what do we do with the 21?
Do you make it 21 and
Over?
then over 1?
Beautiful. Why do we make it over 1? What's that for? It's to make the whole number look like a
Fraction.
fantastic. We're doing fraction multiplication. We make it look nicer. So when you look at it, your brain gets happy. I'm doing a fractions question rather than, oh, this looks odd. This one's a whole number. That one's a fraction. What do I do? I'm getting confused. You change it into a fraction. Your brain's really happy. And now you can do the next step. What's the next step?
You need to like do it diagonally.
Do what diagonally? Do what diagonally?
Like times it.
What do you call it?
Cancel.
Cancel or?
Simplify.
Simplifying. So what we do, we look for the highest common factor when we cancel diagonally or vertically. And the highest common factor of 21 and 3 is?
7. Oh.
You divide that by 3, you divide that by 3.
Oh.
Yeah? Are we happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And
then what do we do next?
You times 7. You do 7 times 8, which is 56.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 times 1, which is 3.
Oh no, sorry. Me bad. It's not 3 times by 1, it's 1 times by 1. Because remember the 3 became a 1.
Oh yeah.
So what's the final answer that goes in the box then?
56 over 1.
Okay, what's the final answer that goes in the box? This is the answer here.
56.
Yes, so we put 56 into there. Aisha, can you explain why you put 56 and 56 over 1?
Because normally you make it into a mixed fraction.
Yeah, now 56 divided by 1. What is it in reality? What is 56 over 1? Is it really what?
It means this 56 whole.
Exactly, 56 divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 gives you the number that you started with. So you haven't actually done anything. So we've gone back to what we done in the beginning. The number 21, we made it into 21 over 1. Now we're turning 56 over 1 back into 56. Because 56 over 1 means 56 divided by 1, which gives you 56. It's just the top number. So the bottom number is unnecessary. So, fantastic. Okay, things are going to get a bit exciting now. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pause this video here. Just going to do something. Okay, minus 0.7 squared. Right, we need a tiger for that. Okay, let's have Minal, please. Can you, thank you for the Ariana so far. You've done a fantastic effort there. Minal, can you please join me on number 31? What do we do here?
Is it 0.7 times 0.7?
Okay, so you're saying we're going to be doing 0.7 times by 0.7 because of what number?
Because it's squared.
Okay,
0.7.
So how do we interpret the -1? Is the -1 going to be part of our calculation so far, or do we do that afterwards? What's happening in the minus?
You do afterwards.
So what do you want me to do with the minus? Because don't forget there is a minus here. So how do we interpret that? What's happening there?
You add it when you get the answer.
I'm asking you, do I put it, for example, here like this?
No. Well, yeah.
Okay, well, the answer is actually, we don't put it there. Because the minus outside the bracket means what?
-1.
Times by. There is an invisible 1 there, an invisible here. There is an invisible
1.
there, which are physically drawn into here now. So we got this calculation really. In reality, the top calculation is that. So what's 0.7 times by 0.7?
Is it 0.14?
0.49. Why? Because
Oh, yeah. 7 times 7 is 49.
yeah. So that will be, because you got 2 decimal places, it'll go back by 2 decimal places, it'll be 0.49. Now we need to do now, multiply the answer by -1. So what's the answer then? What's the final answer?
So you have to times it by 1.
Times it by -1. So what does that give us?
40 minus 41.
Minus 0.49.
Oh.
Oh. I like it when you find out what's going on. Good. Okay, stay there with me, please, Minal. Right, next question looks like something that's you should be able to do. Let's go. What do we do here?
Here, wait. So first you have to convert the mixed number into a top-heavy fraction.
What's that give us?
28 over 25.
And then what do we do to the decimal?
10 into fraction
What is that as a fraction?
is 56/100.
Yes. Now, what do we learn just recently in our lessons?
Keep, change, flip.
Something to do with chickens.
KFC.
KFC. So what do we keep?
You keep the 28 over 25, then change the 56/100.
And what do we keep? Sorry, answer. Well, what do we change?
Change the division
That's right.
into
So
multiplication.
keep the first fraction as is. We flip the second fraction and then we change the division. So that's what we call it the KFC. It's not to do with the chickens. It's not as tasty as the chickens. So so that'll give you 28 over 25 times. And then we flip the second fraction upside down like a burger. Okay, flip it. And that gives you like that. Now, what can you do now?
Cancel.
Can you cancel this way, that way?
That way, 25 and
Cancel
100.
both ways.
Huh?
Cancel both ways.
Oh, yeah.
So 25 and 100, what will they cancel by?
25, so that's 4 and...
They cancel by 25. Okay, what about
It's going to be cancelled by 28.
28. Can we do any more cancelling? Yes, we can. Divide
Yes.
that by 2. Divide that by 2. So what are we left with finally?
2. That is 2.
Lovely. I was getting there, Minal. You were ahead of me, you turbo girl. You were ahead of me. You give me the answer. I was working my way there. So look at that fantastically beautiful question. Changing decimals into fractions. We do a bit of KFC with a bit of the nice lovely chicken. Okay, so 28 over 25. Divide becomes times. Second fraction is upside down. Fantastic. Okay, right. Let's thank you for that, Minal. Right, question number 33 with Zaki Saab. Join me again, please. Mr. Zaki.
So you change 1 over 1/4 into an improper fraction.
Lovely. Start at the 4 with times and add. What's that give us?
5/4.
Lovely. And then what do we do now?
And then you need to cancel.
Okay, now remember what Aisha was saying. She said it for multiplication, but that's what the method is now.
You need to get the same denominator at the bottom.
So the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5 is what?
4 and 5.
Is what?
20, I mean.
So we've got to change 4 and 5 into 20. So how do I change 4 and 5 into 20?
So you do 5 times by 4 and then the top.
Times by 5 as well, yeah? And what was the other fraction?
Then you times by 4 at the top and the bottom.
Fantastic. So what you're doing in actual sense is you're multiplying each denominator by the other denominator, which looks lovely so far. Okay, let's keep on going, man. So 5 times by 5 is?
25.
Over?
20.
Minus 2 times by 4 is 8 over?
20.
So now the bottom numbers are the same. Remember the example we gave of the chairs. Do we take away the bottom numbers?
No.
Never. Not just no, never. We never take away the bottom numbers of a fraction. We only take away the top numbers. The bottom numbers stay the same. So what's 25 take away 8?
17.
Okay, that gives you 17 over?
20.
Okay, is that the final answer?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic, fabulous. I think we're finishing now. Okay, so the number 34 is another division question. I think we can do this one quite quickly. So Zaki, keep on going. I don't know whether we need to do the mini times table for every single one, but let's just quickly fill it in because it is quite easy to fill in. And that will be 80. So how many 16s go into 32?
2.
Beautiful. How many 16s go into 8?
0, and then you put the 8 next to the 4.
Okay, how many 16s go into 84? So 2 lots is 32,
Four.
another 2 lots is 32,
Four.
that gives you 64.
Is 5.
Okay, so that gives you another one more. So that would be 10, 3, 6, 7, 8. So the closest we can get to 84 is what?
5.
5 lots. And now we need to extend the question, don't we?
Yeah.
Not finished yet. We have to extend the question by putting decimal point and zeros. So how much is left over?
40.
4.
4 mean.
You got 84 is what you need, and you only got 80, so you got 4 left, 4 short. Yes, you got 4.
2.
So how many
2.
now?
2.
2. 16 times by 2 is 32. How much is left over now?
8.
How many 16s in 80?
5.
5. Lovely. The question's now finished. Done?
Yeah.
Happy? Okay, 2 nice and easy questions there, Mr. Zaki. Let's have go on. How do we add these fractions? What do we do?
So you add 2/3 plus 1/2.
Okay, you can't add anything at the moment because the bottom numbers are not the same.
You need to change it to the
Change into what?
same denominator.
What denominator do we want? I've given you the answer and I've even highlighted it for you.
12.
You want to change them all into 12s, lovely, because 2, 3, and 4, the lowest common multiple is 12 for those 3 numbers. So how do I change the 4 into 12? What do I do?
Times by 3.
Top and bottom. What about the 3 to 12?
Times by 4.
And the 2 to 12?
Times by 6 and 6.
So that gives you 3 over 12, add 8 over 12, add 6 over 12. What does that give us?
17 over 12.
Okay, what type of fraction is this?
Improper.
So what's 17 divided by 12 then?
1 and 5 over 12.
And what's the answer we put into the box?
1, 5 over 12.
Yes, so if you left the answer 17 over 12, everybody, or even 120 over 24, or even as a decimal, they will give you that as a mark, but it's best to cancel that as always. Okay, question number 36. Okay, Mahnoor, thank you for that, Zaki. Mahnoor, unmute, please join me on this question. Oh.
So for question 36, you have 12.
What do you do 12 to make it look nice? You
have to do 12 over 1.
Okay, well, the 12 over 1 makes the whole number look like a what?
It makes it look like a fraction.
And that's what we want it to look like, so we can deal with it more easier and our brain feels happy when we look at it. Fantastic. Go, keep on going. What do we do now?
Then you do 12 over 1, take away 13 over 6. But you can't do that because the denominators are not the same. So you have to cancel.
Okay, now remember the denominator is the same, so you're going to make the denominator the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, now, if you do this question the way that we've taught you in the lesson, it's going to be a little bit hard. And I'm going to show you why. Because you have to multiply the 12 by 16. And then we have to work it all out backwards. So let's think of a more kind of ingenious method, more better method. So let's have a look. Let's just think about this a bit more. So we got 12. Okay. Now 12 is made up of what?
12 is made
Of 11 and 16 16s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about that. Because in one whole you have 16 16s. So I'll split 12 up into is two kind of components. So here is 11 and here is another one. That gives me how much?
12.
Okay, now you've got 11 and 16 over 16 minus 3 over 16. Now let's think about it this way. This will make it really easy for us now. If you split up the 12 into two fractions, split it into 11, add 16 over 16. Now the question becomes so much easier. So what is, look at the highlighted part now. Now this part can be done together now in one go. So what is 16 over 16 minus 3 over 16?
That's 13 over 16.
Fantastic. So the 11 stays as it is, the whole number 11, and we have left over 13 over 16, and that is fantastically done in a slightly smarter way. So rather than using the traditional method where you got to make the denominators the same, yes, that is true, that method hasn't changed, but then you're going to have to do like a big multiplication, like 16 times by 12, then you're going to have to minus them, then you have to cancel it back down again, and because the numbers are so big, it becomes a bit awkward and a bit clumsy. So this method, which I haven't taught you before, which I haven't even had a chance to use, is actually very nice. So pay attention. And that's the end of our test, and we're going to stop our recording here. Hopefully, as you can see, we've done lots and lots and lots of beautiful mathematics. So when you are doing your homework, there should be lots and lots of calculations, not lots of answers. The calculations is your journey to the answer, which is very important. Okay, let's stop the video there and break time.